Feeling stuck like you, don't know what to do. I know there's more in you, but you cannot see it. There's a remedy, and I've got the strategy. It's time to turn your dreams into a reality. Push, and I'ma help you. 'Cause it's time to. And I'ma help you. 'Cause it's time to.
Hi, welcome again to another episode of Push Talk Podcast. My name is Ose Sesay. I am your host. I'm here to push you towards your purpose in business, in career, and beyond. I'm happy for all my new listeners. First of all, please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. This is our third season. We are really bringing you great content, lived experiences for myself, the many guests I've had to be able to help you reach your business and career goals successfully and beyond that. So, you want to go back, check out old episodes, but most importantly, you want to follow so you don't miss any new ones. And to all my faithful listeners, thank you, Push Insiders. We love and appreciate you. Make sure you continue to share with friends and family. So, enough with me chit chatting. We only have 15 minutes, so we want to make sure we get as much valuable content as possible to you. And we've been focused on the launch of season 3, really talking about, being in business, what are good business ideas, what businesses are legitimate ideas, and just talking about how to conduct ourselves and have self control as people going after business and purpose. So today, we're digging a little deeper into business and we're talking about partnerships, business partnerships. Is it a yay or a nay? Okay, so we know business partnerships is one of those things that it really is about your personality that plays a huge role in that, because when you're working with somebody else now, you have to rely on their say within the work that you're doing. And that could be hard for those people who are type A and like to kind of run the show themselves. So, but anybody, when you're going into business, it's so sensitive, and it's a step of faith, to be honest, and it's not overnight success. Sometimes we have that, which is amazing, but you always want to build, and slow and steady, I believe, wins the race. And through some of those slow and steady moments till you get to your first accomplishment, it can be hard. One person in a partnership can feel, let's keep going. The other can feel like, I want to give up. There's so many things with partnerships, but I'll tell you, let's talk a little bit about that. And let's start off with the benefits. I feel like it's always good to start off with the good before we get into some of the drawbacks, or the concerns, I guess you should say. The big benefit with business partnerships is shared responsibility. Okay. Let me tell you, as a solo entrepreneur who's just getting an established team, which shout out to all my push strategists that work along with me, who bring so many great skills and expertise to help me get better, help this company be better. Doing this solo is work. Okay. I feel like there's no time in the day that I don't feel like getting up and doing something for my business. My kids have to say, "Oh, mom, okay, is it push strategist time or is it my time?" And it's a lot being a mom, a wife. My husband, don't get me started on him. He's like, "Do you ever stop even on Sundays? Sundays is our day." But it's one of those things where you always feel like you have to keep going. So having that shared responsibility in a partnership is a plus, because you're able to say, okay, let's tag team, let's have work sessions, let's split who we go network. You go to this event, I go to that event. And not only just that shared responsibility, but the shared investment. You guys, if you followed me, you know that I did my first somewhat partnership when I launched a business incubator in Brooklyn, New York. That was in the, oh goodness, I'm forgetting what year that was. My goodness. Has it been that long? Was it 2013, 2014, 2013, I think? And I had an amazing partner that I worked with. She was a small business owner. Shout out to Colleen Watley of Brooklyn Dolls. She has a great business now that's booming, where she sells vintage and does so many great things. But she and I were both small business owners who just like kind of fell in each other's lap, and we were like, we need a place to sell our stuff. We need an affordable place, and I decided I was walking in Brooklyn and I saw a vacant storefront. I took the number down and I called and pitched to him. And I just said, you could sit vacant and lose money, or you could let me make this into an incubator. I'll do the contracts, I'll manage the businesses, I'll recruit them, I'll market them. You just give me the space and you'll have your money every month at this date. And he couldn't resist. So there's important sidebars, important to know how to pitch. Okay, you want to know how to pitch is key. And if you need help with that, hit me up, because I have a class where I teach you how to pitch and even give you a sample pitch deck. But okay, let's go back to this. So I partnered with her, and the reason our partnership worked is not just a shared responsibility, but we had shared investment. We both were at a place in our businesses where we were like, we need to both invest in this, because as small business owners in our Brooklyn apartments, having a rent, small place, having product to sell, we couldn't do it individually. So we went in financially together too, and took our last and said, let's do this. And I remember crying with her, taking our money, like, are we sure we want to do this? Are we sure we're going to be able to get the businesses? And I was like looking at her, she was looking at me, and we're like, this is all we got. This is all I got, but we got to do it. And we just stepped out on faith, and it went really great. But I'll say the thing with shared responsibility, going back to that, is what made it work so well is we had strength in different areas, and it connected so well. So her strength was she really handled the visuals, merchandising. She's super creative. She did all the visuals. She like really brought her creativity to the store inventory, like making sure it all looked good, just designing the store, designing the space. She was amazing at that. And I handled the business stuff, partnering with other organizations and marketing and press and all those business things that really work well to push your business out there. So it worked well, our partnership, for the time we worked together, because our strengths were in different areas, and where we were weak, the other balanced out. So you want to think about, when you're going into a partnership, try to find a partner who you can leverage with, who is where you're strong they're weak, where you're weak they're strong, because then there's not going to be much bumping heads. Because if you guys are good at the same thing and not good at the same thing, it's not a balance, and that's where you have a lot of conflict. So the other thing that really helped benefit of a partnership is a shoulder to lean on. It was like, lean on me when you're not strong, I'll be your friend. I don't know if you know that song, but uh, I remember being in a partnership with my friend that I mentioned. We would have moments where we'll be like, oh my gosh, are we going to be able to do this? Okay, we have enough vendors for the month, but what about next month? Or, oh, this vendor's pulling out. Or, oh my gosh, we're not getting as much traffic. Okay, let's think of some marketing thing we can do or event, and we will be able to lean on each other. And it's so good to have that in partnerships, because you don't have to carry the burden alone as you're going through those moments that you are faithing it until you make it. Because I don't say fake it till you make it, I say faith it, because I walk by faith and not by sight, right? So I want all my push insiders to believe that too, as well, and listeners. So we had to we really pushed each other, and we leaned on each other, and we became really good friends. And, honestly, to this day, she's still my girl. I can call her up. We could talk about business stuff. We could talk about life, but we established, that balance. And not saying there weren't days that were tougher. There were days I was like, oh no, I can't deal with her today. And I'm sure she thought that about me because we are too different. She's really creative. I'm super business. So the way I do things when it comes to business is different than her. The way she does creativity and design and the one the store to look is different for me. So we had, I worked with the vendors. She worked with making sure the vendors' spaces look great. We found ways we aligned, and where we disagreed, we work through it, and that's part of partnership. So just those are the main benefits. Shared responsibility, shared investment, a shoulder to lean on, is key. Now let's transition a little bit into some of the cons with partnership. It's really one of the biggest cons that you can fall into, or opportunities of that you have to be careful of, is lack of commitment from one of the parties. So everybody's excited when you're starting something. You're like, yes, let's do it. I see the millions coming. We're gonna be the next Amazon. We are, people always get so excited. But as you're going on the journey of business, you start to realize, oh, Amazon was a achievement that's way down the line. Right now, we more looking like I don't even know. We're just not looking like Amazon. And people start to lose momentum, lose excitement. The balloon deflates, and somebody says, I don't want to do this anymore. You have to make sure that the person you're partnering with, you guys have the same level of tenacity and courage, and you're able to really, walk this out. You both have that. That vision for longevity. And if you don't align to what your vision is, because you want to get in a partnership with somebody who is not going to let you down, or you're not going to let them down. That's the big thing I see with a lot of people. They start off on the right track, but it ends up not working out for one or the other, and they dissolve a really good business model, and it always hurts me to see that. But the good news about partnerships is, if you do go into it and you decide it doesn't work out, you can always change your business entity. Just have the person, you buy their part of the business, and you make it work. You hope that they're fair with that. And you move forward. So that's the good news, that you don't have to feel like, oh, if I go into this and it doesn't work out, I have to close the business. No, there's ways around it too. Um, and we're already getting close to time, so I want to leave it there. One of the other con I was just going to bring up, we talked about a little bit, which is making sure you guys balance each other, because if your partnership doesn't have balance, that can be really bad, and you can do great in one area and you guys cannot do great in the other area of your business, because it doesn't have balance. Try to find people who balance you. But in any event, business partnerships, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid to let somebody in. Don't be afraid to bring somebody on that's stronger than you in one area. I myself, when I started my business, it's my baby. I didn't want to let go of control, but I'll tell you, as I've done that and I've trusted partners, it has helped me so much, and I have so many ways to grow when it comes to growing, my team. But it helps so much to let go and just enjoy the ride a little bit. So don't be afraid. And if you are interested in learning more about partnerships, make sure you hit me up. The biggest key thing I forgot to mention is get an attorney. If you're working with a partner, get an attorney. You guys lay things out with your attorneys. Make sure it's clear, concise. You have everything written down, everything in writing. Listeners, don't forget that. Push insiders, don't forget that. Everything in writing, and your life will be much easier, because when you start off, it seems all grand and great. But if things dissolve, you want to make sure it's all in writing, so you guys are fair to one another. So All right, guys, I'm going to end there. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Push Talk Podcast. If you are thinking of starting a business, keep listening over these next few weeks. We're going to talk about ways that you can use the skills you have to start your own business. We're going to talk more about ways to really see ourselves grow in business, how to market, pricing, all those hard things that people struggle with. So keep listening. Make sure you like us, comment, all those great things. We love and appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking this ride as we help you walk out your purpose and business career beyond. Again, my name is Ose Sesay, and I look forward to seeing you or talking to you guys again next time on Push Talk Podcast.